What's up, Capricorn? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a general tarot reading for the energies leading up to the new moon on September 14th. This will be a new moon in Virgo. It'll be at 21 degrees 59 seconds Virgo. It'll be at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be in the 14th mansion of the moon. I will put a picture of the 14th mansion, and you can learn what it's about. It's called Alcimac. It's good for changing things like moving, getting new love, those types of things. It's not good for marriage, though, and it's not good for traveling by land. So, it's pretty ancient. So they would say traveling by land would be like traveling domestically. But it is good for traveling by water, so I'd say traveling international would be okay. It's also good for healing, but you can read about it. The moon will also be conjunct the sun in Virgo, and it will be making a transiting kite. A kite is a was a big astrological pattern. I have one in my birth. If you want to kind of understand a little bit about it, you can look at my natal chart reading beginner's guide, and you can kind of see what a kite looks like. I'll post a picture of the astrology right here, what a kite looks like and what the energies are right now. It's going to be anchored in Neptune, anchored by Neptune in Pluto. So it's going to be dreamy, kind of boundless, artistic type energy. And it's going to be touching the moon in an opposition. So it could be very psychic, very artistic type thoughts and dreams. And you have to figure out how to, bring them forth to light in a practical way, because the grand trine is in the earth signs. And it's a good thing it's in the earth signs, because the earth signs will make it very practical. And, Virgo is all about being practical, detailed, and prepared. So this is going to be good for making plans, like maybe a plan about your personal health, because Virgo's house is about personal health, some kind of health regimen, or making artistic creations. I think for Capricorn ascendant, the houses will be, the 8th and the 9th. So this could definitely involve, sex or transformation in some way if it's your 8th house, depending on where your ascendant is. So you'd have to kind of look at that and see, what kind of structured plan you want to make about that. For maybe if just for sexual health, or, for some kind of transformation you want to make in your life. Could be the way you look or the way you think about things. If it's your 9th house, it's all about travel, your philosophy on life. So you may alter your philosophy on life, or make a structured, detailed plan for how to do that. And if you can figure out how to balance out that opposition, you can activate the big grand trine of the kite and the sextiles. And, people don't really like to acknowledge their rough aspects in their chart, but those are the ones that's going to give you the motivation to accomplish things. You want those. You need them. If everything's too easy, you're just going to, most people, if things are real easy in their life, what happens? They get complacent, and they don't really accomplish anywhere near their potential. They may have a nice life, but they don't really accomplish anything great. Maybe they could have. So it's good to have that. But yeah, with that being said, we're going to get you get these cards shuffled and get the reading out here, and then I'll get you a moon card. And we'll see what's going on for Capricorn for these energies leading up to this new moon and beyond. Not trying to do a whole transitory horoscope, just kind of give you kind of basic ideas of what the energy will be around the moon. Because the moon is a very influential planet on us, because it's the closest thing to us other than our actual planet that we're on. That's why all magic is based off of the moon. A lot of things are based off the moon. We're not going to go into all of that. Could be something with like a court case, some kind of justice, some kind of balance going on. Could be a question about something legal for Capricorns. Or disappointed in some situation. Doesn't have to be legal. It could be about balance in some way. And you have this on the bottom. So it's kind of squabbling going on. It's kind of arguing, but I don't put a lot of faith in the bottom of the deck. Let's get an overall arching energy, and it'll probably give us a better idea of what we're looking at here. You got two happy home cards over there. It's like you're not able to see it for some reason, or you're having bad dreams. You're being kept up at night because you're trying to accomplish that. It's like you walked away from something, Let's see what we get on the moon card here. See what kind of that was definitely it. Saying your hard work is paying off, and it is the new moon in Capricorn. Can't make that up. So you're working hard on something, for sure. And it's looking like it's you're not seeing the results. Looks like you're working really hard, but you don't feel like you're seeing the results. You're not focusing on the positives. You got these three cards together. Like if I feel like you're on the cusp of like giving up, Capricorns have to work hard. Your ruler is Saturn, and he is, the Satan of astrology. He makes things tough. He tests us. He puts boundaries on things. He puts borders on things. He puts restrictions on things. You may be just about to be like, I'm about to give it up. You could be waiting for some kind of like patent or something like that for something that you're trying to create. Don't give up. See, it feels like the question is like whether you should give up on something. Something that you thought was important. It could be that you're after somebody legally and you're debating on giving up. Like maybe you're suing someone in some way. But saying your hard work is paying off. It could be something that, like I said, a patent that you're trying to get for something you're creating, or you're trying to receive justice in some kind of situation. Like you want balance and you want justice in the situation. Like you're having a hard time focusing on the positive. It could be an emotional type situation. And you don't feel there's justice in the situation. You feel like it's lopsided. For some reason, you're focusing on the 3 spilled cups instead of the 2 full ones. And you're wanting to walk away, like you're wanting to give up. The current path you're on has the Hermit on it. Maybe you're really in your head right now. Maybe you're meditating, thinking about anything. But you have a work card there. Like you're showing off what you're creating in some way. You have a lot of ideas about it with the 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. And this is a great time with Neptune and Pisces touching the moon to get downloads. You couldn't even ask for a better alignment than that. It's gonna be like almost like instant knowing, because Uranus is involved too, if everything's activated. It's like you've been focusing really hard. Maybe you've even cut yourself off of the world to work on whatever this is. Because you want to unleash it to the world or show it to the world. And maybe you feel like it's not working out. You're working your butt off. And you feel like it's not paying off, but it is. And you got all these ideas, and you feel like you can't really bring them forth because you haven't got to where you needed to get to be able to do that. But it's coming. And even here, on this other path, and Capricorns may, have one path or the other because it's a general reading, so you could be on this path and the Capricorn could be on this path, or you have a choice between the paths, or you're on both, It just depends. A lot of Capricorns out there. Not that necessarily a lot of them will see my video, but, there are definitely going to be some, I would hope. You got the 10 of Cups, which is the happy home card, having it all, but you have the 9 of Swords there, like you're worried, you're up at night. And then you have, another happy home card or a celebration card or a marriage card type thing. But I don't think it's a marriage. I think it's like, happy home, and you're so worried about accomplishing that. You're working hard for that. You're working your butt off, and you don't feel like it's paying off. But I'm telling you, this worry is surrounded by 2 like happy having it all happy home celebration cards. So it's working. Whatever you're doing is working. It's just going to take time and effort because you're Capricorn. So you got to work. Got to work hard. It's just what it is for Capricorn, and there's no better sign prepared for it. There's no better sign designed for it. Capricorns are the hardest working in the business. They definitely can be if they want to be. This is the advice. You have the Tower, you have the Strength, those 2 major arcanas, and you have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is offering a cup, but he's facing away from the Strength and the Tower. And it could be that you're moving away from some kind of tower situation. Or maybe it's saying that it's going to come suddenly, right? Out of nowhere. And maybe, this could be something with your nervous system, right? Maybe you're having like nerve pains or something like that, or some kind of back pain or something like that, and that might be worrying you. That could be part of what you're worrying is. It's saying, be strong. Keep moving forward. Keep bringing forth what you're bringing forth. It could be that something happened, something drastic happened. Maybe something happened to your home or your business, and it's like got you, hurricane just hit. Look at the alignment of that full moon with Saturn, and then the moon that controls the tides and Saturn touching it. Look what happened with them both being as close to the Earth as they can get. Freaking hurricane hits, like literally on the full moon almost. pretty crazy. But I'm saying that's what Saturn's all about. It's tough. I mean, it won't be as bad for Capricorn because Saturn is your planet, so it's built for y'all. You are built for that kind of energy. You are built for that kind of struggle. Not that you have to struggle. It's just that you're going to have to work harder, but you also can accomplish more because you work harder. You will know more. You will do more. Those types of things. Just you have to work hard. And it just depends on Saturn. I mean, people could have a strong Saturn in their chart and not even have a lot of Capricorn, and you still going to have to do those things. So a lot of people have Saturn. Saturn's necessary. Like we would do next to nothing, people would, if it was just all Jupiter energy. Or, just all Neptune and Jupiter energy, just expanding, floating out there. Everything's all good. We would do nothing. We would have no motivation. And it could be that just a sudden change is coming in. It's going to give you the strength you need to move forward. And that may be what this is saying. Just hold out. It's coming. And it's going to happen all at once. Boom. It's going to be like, yes, finally. Finally, put all this damn work in. It's about damn time. I know that feeling. I'm waiting for that day myself. Because I'll be working my butt off. This is the outcome. It does have a heartbreak card here. But you have the Ace of Rods, the Knight of Swords with the Three of Swords. Take care of your heart health. You work too hard. You put a lot of strain on your body. Don't neglect your heart for your passions. I'll say that, right? Don't neglect your heart for your passions, whether it be in your relationships or your physical health. Like, don't. Because you work too hard, put too much in, you're going to get, heart attacks are a real thing. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but seeing the Tower with this, it absolutely can mean that. I'm not saying that it will. It could be that, it leads to heartbreak because you put so much work in there. Maybe, you didn't have enough time for your family. That's what's saying up here. You're up here worrying so much about, creating this life for them that maybe they feel neglective and some kind of heartbreak can happen out of that. So, you might want to, my little new kitten I rescued, Monet, little cutie. So you might want to just be cognizant of that so that you don't overdo it. And it's looking like you're just working really hard. It's paying off, but just know it's paying off. Like, no, you don't have to work yourself to death or to the bone. Like, you can probably even just start kind of easing up now. Just kind of nurture what you've been creating and let it do its thing. Ooh. Yeah, you feel like, in the question here where you have the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups and the Justice, it's like, you got what you feel like is interference with your abundance. Which is the Three of Cups. Sometimes it likes to focus, sometimes it doesn't. And the Two of Cups. And because you feel like you're having that interference with your abundance, you feel like you're having interference in your love too. But I think your hard work's paying off. And I think it's feeling like that. It's feeling tough, but that's just Saturn strain. It's what those rings do. They put boundaries on you and make it hard to expand. They put boundaries on expanding. Yeah, some kind of wisdom coming in. You get the Seven of Pentacles on the Seven of Cups. The Seven of... Yeah, it's like you're feeling failure. Like you're feeling. You get the High Priestess. And this is wisdom. It could be like downloads coming in. Right now you could definitely be getting them with this moon coming up. This is all about truth. So it looks like wisdom and truth, right, will stop you from feeling like this. Like, you feel failure right now, but wisdom and truth is coming in from what you've been working on. Like, it's wisdom and truth coming in. There will be no failure. And it could be that just like Seven of Pentacles in this deck says failure, but really, it's probably more of the traditional ones, like the seeds that you've planted have felt like failures, but something's working. Something's working. Like, you feel like the truth is that it's a failure, but it's not, because the hard work is paying off. Like, there are things probably happening that you can't see right now necessarily. Energies that are working out. They're going to make whatever this is you're creating, or whatever this is you've been working on. Whether it's just you're working on a happy home for your family, you're just busting your butt. Whether it's a creation of yours. Whether you're trying to step out into the world in some way and get noticed. Which I don't see the sun here, so it doesn't necessarily look like that. It looks like you're just trying to make a happy life, like a happy home life. like you keep getting two good cards with like a bad card. It's like the situation, what it really is the two good cards, but like you're focusing on the bad card. Like then you have power, which is, it's a balance card, but it's power, having power. This is the Ace of Cups. This never has a bad meaning or connotation. It's just beautiful, overflowing new energy, new love. It could be a wedding over here. You could be worried about paying for a wedding or a home or something like that over here for sure. And you're worried or disappointed about it in some way. You don't feel like it's occurring exactly how you wanted it to occur. But how often does things happen exactly how we want them to occur? Almost never. We'll probably get the result we want if we just stay at it, keep focusing on it, imagining it, and knowing that it can happen. We have to let it happen in its own way. We can't control everything that goes on around us. We can only control what's within us, and we can get on that specific wavelength, on that specific. Like I always say, they always talk about the law of attraction, but they never talk about the vessel or exactly how it works, right? That whole aspect is. In quantum physics, is reality a particle or a wave? And when reality is left alone and just measured by machines, it's like it's just seeing how reality reacts. It's a wave, just this perfect little wave going, right? But the moment there's a conscious observer, it looks at the wave, that wave function collapses into particles. And so they don't know if reality is that wave or that particle, if reality is created when the observer happens. But they know that we do alter it with observation, right? But if you're trying to manifest something, if reality in and of itself, when it's creating a creation, when it is creation, it's just this wave. And when are people in a wave state? When they're sleeping, alpha wave, delta waves, theta waves, that kind of stuff. Hey there, baby. That's Monet speaking up. And so, or in meditation, deep meditation. So where you're in that flow state, and that's why you want to think about things in a certain way so much and visualizing them that you dream about them, right? And you want to get yourself to the point where you're thinking positive about it and you have good dreams about them. And if you're having trouble dreaming about them, it's because the vessel isn't ready. There's still things you need to integrate with inside yourself so that you can get the vessel correct, so that you can flow in the right way. And then you can flow with that flow state of creation, that wave, and you can influence it so that it will create. If you're constantly thinking and observing and going after it, then you're going to be collapsing it. It's going to be bursting into particles. At least that's my take on it. And you can take that for what you want. That's a kind of a breakdown scientifically on the subatomic level of the law of attraction. By your man, Jesse, 44 Astro. I'll make a whole video on it one day if I ever get monetized. Let's get the advice here. Yeah, it feels like some kind of disappointment on this. It could be that, a new relationship, maybe, or you're about to get married and it's about to be, you're about to be a new couple. And I say that, maybe you've been dating for a while. But there's Seti, my 17-pound cat. And I mean, he is big. Big old kitty cat. That's a wish or some kind of healing, right? Okay, so if, like I said, if it was some kind of like back pain or nerve pain or something like that, and the tower can represent that, or heart, you do have the star here, and that's healing, right? And also it could be a wish, what you're trying to create. In this deck, the Four of Cups is called luxury, but it's really understanding both the energies, the good and the bad, and working with them together, because good doesn't exist without bad and bad doesn't exist without good, just even conceptually, because we can't even understand what one is without the other. It's just the way it works. So choosing both the energies, and you need to use all energies to your benefit, because there are both those types of energies out there, so they all have to be used and alchemized to accomplish your goal, good or bad energies. And then you got the Princess of Wands, which is being passionate about something, really passionate about it, wanting to move forward. She's got that tiger by the tail, just yanking it, flying with a wand in her hand, like, we are going to do this no matter what. It's almost like the lady with her hand in the lion's mouth almost, except she's got it by the tail, dragging it. So it's being strong, having power over the material realm, understanding these things. But if it is with health, you need to, there's a healing card right there, and health can be done. Like I said, when I see the tower with the Three of Swords, I always worry about the heart. Anything sudden with the heart or even with your nervous system, and it can be keeping you down. I mean, they are in two different rows over here. One's advice, and one, maybe it's saying don't work yourself to the point of like exhaustion and collapse. And it could just be something suddenly happens, like a wish that comes and changes everything, and brings that happy home and that completion to what you've been working on. That hard work that pays off. Can't nobody work like a Capricorn. That's why it's a Capricorn Capricorn card. Because Capricorn, Saturn represent work. The 10th house is work. That is your volition, what you do for a job. It's work. Just what it is. I think Capricorns are amazing. I imagine most Capricorns are like, oh, it sucks, Saturn, blah, blah. No, man. Being a Capricorn is fucking awesome. Yeah, you may have more challenges, but when you accomplish, you really fucking accomplish. And are probably going to be remembered all throughout fucking history for it. That type of stuff. Like LeBron James type stuff. Jeff Bezos type stuff. I mean, the list goes on and on. This is on the outcome. You got the Princess of Discs. It can be a message of money, new opportunity, and you do have the Ace of Wands over here. You have victory, 6 of Rods, and again, you're worrying. You're worrying about this new opportunity and this victory. Every time you got 2 like good cards, and then you got the worry card with it. You're really worrying. You're really focused on, you're not focusing on the positive. You're working your butt off. And I can understand being exhausted, not wanting to, it's being hard to focus on the positive when you're working that hard. I mean, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine because I work my butt off. It takes me 3 days just to make these videos, not along with everything else I have to do, pay a mortgage and everything else. So I know, I do understand. As much as I can anyway. I understand the aspect of hard work. I have no problem with hard work. I respect it. But anyway, that's all I have, Capricorn. I think you're going to be good. I think your hard work is paying off. I think there's a worry card with every one of your set. You got 2 good cards and like 1 worry card every time, except this time down here. But that's on the advice. I think you're worrying. I think you're not seeing the results as fast as you wanted. I think it's just how it's going to be because that's what Saturn does. He delays. That's part of what Saturn is. But you're going to get it. It's going to be all good. It's working out. Your hard work is paying off. Take care of your heart. Take care of your body during all this. Don't let yourself get beat down too much. It's going to be all good. All right, Capricorn, that's all I have. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to help me grow, that's how to do it because it'll, with those 3 things, it's more likely to suggest it to someone else and then somebody else will watch it and it'll help grow the channel. But you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just grateful for the view and that you're here. It's going to be, it's going to work out and it's going to be it's going to be an interesting one with this new moon. Anyway, Capricorn, I'm glad you're here. Happy new moon.